Late-night scrolling led me to a handsome guy's daily vlog. The camera captured his ethereal fair complexion, prompting me to leave a thirsty comment. I'd marry this type even if it meant living in a mansion and driving luxury cars. He replied, "You really refuse to suffer. Huh?" His TikTok showcased skydiving, swimming, road trips, skiing, and aurora chasing. I swear the gleaming Ferrari key in his videos didn't intrigue me, his face resembling K-pop royalty did. Since I couldn't have him, I doubled down on my digital simping, wifing material alert. Mansion life, here we go. Post-commenting spree. I slept soundly, planning to dream about him, waking to 99+ TikTok notifications. I panicked. Had someone filmed me missing a trash can 3-pointer? Trembling, I checked my phone. My thirst comment went viral with his reply, "You really refuse to suffer. Huh." The comment section overflowed with LOLs, but mercifully no Delulu accusations. Channeling main character energy, I flooded his videos, guitar cover, voice of an angel. Would sell my apartment for front row tickets, but my landlord objects. Aurora video, northern lights pale compared to your loneliness without me lols. Gym clip, muscles heavy checkmark outfit crossmark, too many layers for this sugar mama. Mid-typing my DM master plan, a message popped up, "Emily, delete this cringe now." My brain short-circuited. Since when did TikTok hotties know my government name? New message, "It's Ethan. My childhood nemesis, the boy whose head I split open with a rock after he pulled my pigtails in kindergarten." Our family's endless apologies somehow forged lifelong friendship between them, leaving us perpetually at war. His family's overseas move after middle school had been my personal Independence Day, until now. "Ethan?" I screeched. Childhood trauma resurfacing. The same guy whose parents tearfully parted from mine in drizzling rain as we secretly fist-bumped about finally being rid of each other. "Hey, baby face. Will you miss me when I'm gone?" Ethan suddenly asked me that nonsensical question before leaving. Of course not. I made exaggerated faces at him, not taking it seriously. Miss him? I'd rather spend that time thinking about the lottery god. Later, we transitioned from sworn enemies to online acquaintances with generational gaps. To put it nicely, we were netizens. But truthfully, we were just keyboard warriors constantly attacking each other. When I posted glamorous selfies today, he'd comment, "Eyesore. Delete." When he shared IELTS listening materials tomorrow, I'd snark, "Who are you trying to impress? Mr. Overachiever?" For years, despite being physically apart, our combative camaraderie never faded. We kept exchanging blows like martial arts masters, neither gaining the upper hand. Now I've encountered life's greatest Waterloo. Me, actually flirting with Ethan online, and saying all those things. When I didn't respond, Ethan directly called me. My trembling fingers hit decline. Can't answer. Literally can't. "Emily, pick up or I'll send our chat history to your parents." Fine. Using parental threats? I'll answer. "Hello?" My forced calmness couldn't mask the guilt in my voice. Ethan's soft chuckle came through. Damn. Since when did his voice sound this attractive? My face burned. "Emily, even rabbits don't nibble grass near their burrows. You've been eyeing me?" I felt like a skinned rabbit awaiting judgment. "You never post selfies. How should I know what you look like now?" I retorted weakly. "Perfect. I'm back stateside. I'll visit your house soon so you can inspect me properly." Ethan drawled. Speechless, I hung up. Immediately, Ethan sent our chat screenshot highlighting my cringy message calling him my online husband I've never met. "Ethan, what do you want?" I rage texted a voice memo. "Answer 3 questions truthfully and I won't expose your lust for me." Deal. First, favorite color? Vanta black with rainbow glitter. Second, life goal? Run over everyone with a truck. Third, hobbies? Watering coma patients. Mom called 30 seconds later. Disaster. Emily. What nonsense are you posting? Since when have you liked Ethan? Her roar made me curse Ethan's treachery. Mom. I hate Ethan's guts. Ridiculous. Mom snapped. That disciplined, successful young man is leagues above your nocturnal, slovenly self. Mom. That's not enough. The Millers visit Saturday. Clean up and behave, no childhood brawling. She hung up mid-rant. Fuming. Ethan texted, got scolded? I could visualize his annoyingly handsome smirk. Ethan. You win. His reply came, see you Saturday. Babyface. Babyface, the nickname Ethan coined from Emily sounding like immature. My appetite vanished from this defeat. Whatever. Skipping one meal means less fat anyway. Logging on to TikTok. I was stunned to find the comment section transformed within hours from ha 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 to if you two get together. I'll chip in $500 and put it on the first floor's tab. Thoroughly confused. I scrolled through only to discover Ethan had replied to every single comment I'd made. Under my guitar video, I'll negotiate with the landlord to buy this property. Put your name on the deed. Then you can sell it and split the profits with me. On my Aurora post, this isn't peak season for Northern Lights. I'll notify you when it's time for our trip. Beneath my gym selfie, this Saturday I'll wear fewer layers so you can properly appreciate the view. Ethan. Have you lost your mind? This is a public comment section. Not your personal flirting zone. Frantically deleting all my posts. I foolishly hoped erasing digital evidence could undo my embarrassment. The internet never forgets. Sharp-eyed netizens quickly swarmed my profile. A state university's campus queen makes thirsty comments. Who knew? If these two aren't dating, I'll eat a ton of shit while handstanding. Interview request. How does it feel having your meme posts turned into rom-com material by Mr. Prince Charming? For the first time, I envied my grandfather's tech illiteracy. But social media humiliation has a way of escalating. Ethan doubled down by commenting across all my videos, under white dress photos, suspiciously targeted content to seduce me. On sunset footage, golden hours missing its treasure, me by your side. Beneath angsty captions, call me first when you're sad, I want front row seats to your misery. I texted furiously, 2 days until Saturday. I need to delete something. Me? He replied. My last shred of decency. Then I'm ramming you with my car. Our spamming standoff ended awkwardly. Strangely, bickering with Ethan felt enjoyable. I violently suppressed this thought by binge-watching 20 episodes of Wong Bao-chuan digging wild vegetables. When Ethan's you there? Text arrived during my man-hating meditation. I ignored it. By Saturday morning, the internet circus had mostly dispersed. After cramming calculus with Sophie from the neighboring dorm, we found crowds gathering outside our building. Holy shit! Look at that! Sophie gasped. A scarlet Ferrari idled by the curb. Its 6'3" driver radiating model-tier attractiveness. My stomach dropped as recognition hit Ethan, leaning against his sports car like some romance novel cover. Missed my texts. He effortlessly took my textbooks, ignoring Sophie's poorly concealed glee, dragging him into the Ferrari. I hissed drive, to escape dozens of envious stares. Wind whipping through my unwashed hair. I cursed my bare-faced state. Ethan's smirk intensified my irritation. What? I snapped. You planned this outfit to impress me. Keep dreaming. Then why's your playlist all my favorite songs? The dashboard screen exposed my carefully curated driving mix. My cheeks burned as he chuckled. Relax. We're just two friends, with explosive chemistry, casually hanging out. His wink triggered internal screaming. This wasn't embarrassment anymore, it was warfare. Not looking at my uncle. Ethan said cheerfully, the corners of his eyes crinkling. Looking at my never-met-before stranger wife instead. You really had a way with words. Effectively shutting down the conversation. Ever considered you've got a naturally punchable face? I gritted my teeth. Oh. I seem to recall someone calling me handsome. Ethan retorted, deliberately tracing his jawline. My throat went dry watching his long, elegant fingers, a certified hand enthusiast's weakness. See something interesting? I could have sworn Ethan's cheeks flushed pink. If you have eyes, you'd see me looking at you. If not, pretend I said nothing. I stated matter-of-factly. Ethan stared wordlessly. Score 1 for me. 30 minutes later, we sat in my living room with both sets of parents. The Millers and Carters faced us like stern judges. I nervously picked at my knees, side-eyeing Ethan, who was digging at his jeans even more vigorously. Challenge accepted, I scratched harder. When the fabric nearly frayed, Mr. Miller broke the silence. Our Ethan and your Emily make such a perfect match. Absolutely not. We shouted in unison, then cringed under our parents' knowing smirks. He's beneath me. She's beneath me. Stop copying me. 3 synchronized retorts later. Our former keyboard warrior camaraderie resurfaced in full force. Pfft. I rolled my eyes. Sure. He'd grown hotter, but still light years from my league. Ethan mirrored my eye roll. My soup. Mrs. Carter suddenly exclaimed, dashing to the kitchen. The feast that followed could have fed a small nation. I nearly drooled reaching for braised pork when Mom smacked my hand. Mom. What gives? Where are your manners? Let Ethan go first. She scolded. The smug bastard practically grinned ear to ear as he took my coveted pork slice, chewing obnoxiously slow. Not to be outdone, I shoveled 2 pieces. He took 3. I grabbed 4. By meal's end, we'd each gained a kilo. The Millers decided to settle here, conveniently buying the house across from ours. I gaped as Mr. Miller unlocked the front door opposite ours during farewells. Next morning, I drew my curtains wearing teddy bear pajamas, basking in sunlight until movement caught my eye. Ethan leaning on his balcony in charcoal gray sleepwear. I snapped the curtains shut. Must be sleep drunk. Reopening them confirmed the nightmare that jerk actually lived across now. Morning. Stranger wife. He drawled. Morning. Dog-eyed bastard with your 3 parts mockery. 3 parts indifference. I deadpanned, yanking the curtains closed. After dolling up for campus, rumored hot TA might be my future boyfriend. I timed my exit perfectly, to collide with Ethan. His barely there double take didn't escape me. How'd I notice? Let's call it well-practiced delusion. Going to class? Ethan asked. Yep. Heard you skipped grades and graduated early? How sad. Missing out on all the fun college experiences. I sneered. Still better than a repeat student who failed calculus. Ethan retorted. Ugh. He actually brought up my failed calculus. With no comeback. I rolled my eyes and bolted. Running so fast, got a hot date with the Grim Reaper? Need a ride? Ethan yanked my collar. Sure. 306 Reaper Street. River Styx Boulevard. I shot back despite the absurdity. Your chariot awaits. Next thing I knew, I was back in the passenger seat of Ethan's Ferrari. You're actually taking me to campus? I eyed him suspiciously. Since when are you this nice? Never. He adjusted his sunglasses smugly. Just heading the same way. Did you think my Ferrari's for random freeloaders? I glared silently. Cat got your tongue? He prodded. Randoms shouldn't speak to your highness. I deadpanned. Relax. It's a joke. Why so dressed up today? Got a date? Obviously. I flipped my freshly curled curtain bangs for effect. You never dolled up like this for me. Ethan muttered, gripping the steering wheel tighter. Seeing someone? MHM. His sour expression lifted my mood instantly. New young TA in room 306. Ethan perked up abruptly. The new TA in 306. Already hooked him? His sudden interest irked me. Obviously. He's completely smitten, can't eat. Can't sleep. Smitten? Ethan repeated through gritted teeth. MHM. I nodded vigorously, enjoying his darkening expression. Fell for my charm the second he saw me. You even know his name? What he looks like? Ethan's knuckles whitened on the gearshift. Of course. 6'1". Athletic build. Tan skin, total hottie. I fibbed shamelessly, mentally apologizing to this imaginary TA. Maybe my fictional Adonis intimidated Ethan into silence. We drove wordlessly until pulling up at my lecture hall. I practically skipped out, ignoring bystanders' stares and flashing a victory grin. Ethan emerged too, trailing behind. Why are you following me? Who's following? I have class here. You got held back too? Flunked overseas so you're retaking courses here? I barely contained my glee. Ethan's expression turned stormy. Served him right after all his bragging about accelerated degrees and combined master's programs. Wait, why would his grad program require undergrad classes? Distracted. I autopilot to the classroom where the professor already waited. Ethan still lingered at the doorway. Aren't you leaving? He strode past me toward the lectern as students hushed. My stomach dropped seeing him unpack lecture notes. Good morning. I'm Professor Miller. Substituting for today's special seminar. Ethan adjusted his glasses. Smirk laser focused on me. Let's begin with roll call, starting with the student fantasizing about her non-existent TA. The entire class turned as I slid down my seat. His smooth voice dripping honeyed venom. Emily? Present and imaginative. I see. Not leaving. Oh no! He's taking the same course as me. Doesn't that completely expose my lie about the tan jock? The new young TA hasn't arrived yet. Please. Please let him be a 6'1" tanned athlete. A bit shorter would be fine, I can make up stories. Ideally. He'd fall for me at first sight so my fantasy could come true. When I was fantasizing about ending my 23-year streak of singlehood, the elderly professor's voice shattered my hopes. Ethan. You're here. What? How does the professor know Ethan? I froze in place, turning to stone. As Ethan passed by, he shot me a look full of amusement. Hello everyone. I'm Ethan Miller, your teaching assistant for this period. I look forward to working with you all. He delivered that last line while staring straight at my statue-like figure by the door. Great. Now I'm the only casualty in this world. Previously trash-talking Ethan online was one thing, but claiming he's hopelessly in love with me right to his face? Holy crap! My phone buzzed. Of course it was Ethan again. Spellbound? Obsessed? Fantastic, those two phrases just earned permanent spots on my blacklist. I immediately set his notifications to mute again and tried to sneak a nap in the back. Emily! Emily! A voice cut through my drowsiness. Stop it. Let me sleep. I grumbled, glaring at Ethan standing beside me before burying my face again. Wait, was that the professor behind him? I rocket-launched upright. Here. The classroom erupted in laughter. Mortifying enough without the caked-on makeup. Why did I bother with contouring today? The young ladies these days are so spirited. The kindly professor remarked, glancing between Ethan and me before shuffling back to the podium. Now that roll call's done, let me introduce Ethan, an outstanding student I met during my lecture series abroad last year. These old eyes aren't what they used to be. So Ethan will be demonstrating the lab procedures for our next 4 sessions. My scalp prickled. He knew I'd be taking this elective? And just sat there listening to my nonsense? This was absolutely intentional. While other girls sighed over his looks, I mentally sentenced him to death by 1,000 cuts, the only way to erase this humiliation. After class, I bolted for the back door. Ethan materialized like a glitch, yanking my collar. Where to? My dorm? Where else? Got a hot date? I snapped, swatting his hand away. Right. He deadpanned, releasing me. Your tanned athlete ghosted you. Heat flooded my cheeks. Could he be any more tactless? I seized his shirt so forcefully he stumbled. Our noses nearly touched. His breath warm on my face. True. The jock stood me up. But my eyes dropped to his perfect lips. Before he could react, I kissed him. There's still my pasty TA backup, my hypothetical husband? I laughed triumphantly as Ethan fled like the building was on fire. Though the victory soon curdled into familiar emptiness. I've loved him for years, since childhood. Really. Like when I hospitalized him with a rock. Bleeding and broken. He'd smiled from the ER bed, don't cry. It doesn't hurt. Or how he'd always force me to walk on the inner sidewalk edge. Or that time he fought 3 bullies over a stray kitten, clinging to the shivering fur ball despite his black eye. He must hate me now. I wailed to my dorm ceiling. Who hates you? Sophie walked in with new face masks, pausing at my dramatics. Sophie, have you ever dated anyone? I'm literally dating someone now. She beamed. Met him at the sports college mixer. I suddenly hated all coupled humans with burning passion. Why didn't you tell me? I pouted. You never asked. And I posted a group photo on my feed. Sophie replied. Right, I wasn't big on scrolling through social media. But I always made a point to check Ethan's profile alone. Seeing me zone out. Sophie, who wasn't great at comforting people, chatted awkwardly for a bit before heading back to the dorm. Oh. By the way. She paused mid-step as if remembering something. There's a mixer next Saturday with the sports college guys. Tons of hotties. You in? Probably not. I mumbled. Not interested. Sophie shrugged and closed the door behind her. I sighed. No one could be hotter than Ethan anyway, what was the point? Slapping on the new face mask Sophie had bought me. I stared blankly at Ethan's chat window. Our messages still froze at last night's bickering. His reply sitting untouched because I'd been too proud to respond. Now it was evening. And he hadn't texted once. Was he mad? Panic surged. Did kissing him upset him? Ugh. Should have kept my lips to myself. Now we can't even be friends. Frustration demanded chaos. I opened TikTok and aggressively commented under every hot guy video. Under a tanned athlete's clip, looking this fine should be illegal. Wanna slide down your nose bridge like it's a water slide. Beneath a sunny, puppy-eyed guy, cute enough to make a girl open her wallet on a cold, reserved types post, used to say I hated the icy vibe. Turns out I was just lying to myself. Post-commenting catharsis. I finally felt sane enough to text Ethan, you mad at me? Radio silence. To mask the awkwardness. I rapid-fired, LOL it was just a kiss. Don't be petty. But NGL your lips were kinda soft. JK didn't even want to kiss you that bad. Forget it, just lip friendship between pals. 10 minutes later. His voice message arrived, was showering. Oh. Okay. Showering. Not ignoring me. Is this a check-in? Then another text, Mom's been using my phone for her online course. She saw all your messages. Mortified didn't begin to cover it. I vowed never to text him again. Minutes later. Ethan messaged, free next week? Why? I typed. Heart racing. Is he asking me out? Does he like me? He must, just asking. Ugh. Deflated. I salvaged my pride, might have plans. Plans? Who's the imaginary date this time? His reply stung. Either he was clueless or completely uninterested. Game over. The mixer. I snapped. He didn't respond. Fine, if Ethan was a lost cause. I'd move on to greener pastures. I immediately texted Sophie, I'm in for the mixer. She flooded me with more than 10 shirtless athlete pics, potential attendees. Each abs shot more mouth-watering than the last. So pale. So sculpted, before bed. I checked my phone one last time. No messages from Ethan. I slept heavily. The next day, after morning classes, I trudged into the afternoon elective taught by the same old professor. The professor's course was divided into lab and theory sections. The 4 lab sessions had to be completed during the first week, while the 6 theory classes were spread over 2 weeks, making the entire course last 3 weeks. This meant I'd see Ethan 4 times this week. Following international student tradition, I stealthily occupied the back row. This time, I waited until Ethan finished taking attendance before dozing off, secretly hoping he'd glance my way. No such luck. He treated me like invisible glass the entire class, sternly avoiding eye contact. After class, he helped the professor organize materials before heading straight downstairs. Was Ethan avoiding me? Just because I kissed him? My chest tightened with suffocating sadness. Then my period arrived like an unwelcome guest. I collapsed on my dorm bed, pain swarming like fire ants gnawing my abdomen. How I envied girls with pain-free cycles, they'd never understand this agony. Trembling, I gulped down painkillers from my bedside cabinet. The cramps kept me bedridden, forcing me to skip evening study hall. Being a woman is survival mode, I thought bitterly. Next morning, I chewed another pill before dragging myself to class. Part of me wanted Ethan to see me suffering, pathetic teenage logic. The real reason? The professor deducted credits for absences regardless of circumstances. Here, I croaked during roll call. Ethan didn't flicker an eyelash. Ice cold bastard. So much for wounded bird tactics. Love-struck women lose their edge. Clearly. Hunched like an old woman, I inched along the hallway wall after class. Suddenly, strong arms caught me mid-stumble. Still hurting this much? Ethan stuffed a box of ibuprofen and a thermos of brown sugar ginger tea into my hands. Where'd you get these? I pressed the warm bottle to my cramping stomach. Immediate relief spreading through me. Ordered delivery during lecture. He avoided my gaze. Ears flushing pink. Teaching assistants skip class too? Legend. I weakly raised a thumb. A fresh cramp hit, making me hiss. You've always been like this. Ethan's sigh carried years of memory. He hadn't forgotten that time in 9th grade when I'd passed out from period pain. He'd carried me to the nurse's office, then punched a classmate who accused me of faking. Kicked you once. Quit overacting. He'd sneered at the boy curled on the floor. The incident earned him permanent detention records until his stellar grades expunged them after graduation. From that day, he kept track of my cycle, secretly leaving painkillers and ginger tea on my desk. Even after moving away for college, care packages of herbal remedies still arrived monthly. Sniffling, I mumbled, "Can't skip the professor's class. Attendance affects credits." Ethan carried me to the dorm entrance. Smirk reappearing. "Call me daddy and I'll handle your attendance for 2 days." "Screw you," I rasped, lacking conviction. He watched until I painstakingly navigated the stairs, each step feeling eons long. Collapsing into bed, my phone buzzed. Ethan's message glowed. Made it back? Butterflies erupted. Yep. Then radio silence. Did he like me? Or was this lifelong habit from growing up together? His mixed signals tortured me, biting sarcasm yet unwavering care. Did childhood friendship explain this? Agony and frustration eventually dragged me into fitful sleep. I woke naturally next morning, no morning classes. With the professor's lecture in the afternoon. Scrolling through notifications. I froze at Ethan's pinned message, "Got your absences excused. 2 days off. No credit penalty." Emily, the TA sure lives up to his title. Pulling strings feels awesome. I popped an ibuprofen and grinned at him. "Thanks, son." Ethan, looking for extra assignments? Don't. Pops. Hey. Survival instincts kick in. I swear I didn't mean to betray my dear father. But Ethan's offer was too good, skipping 2 whole lectures and getting credits. Dad, please forgive your daughter's big mouth for the sake of graduation. By Friday night, I'd mostly recovered. My phone buzzed with Ethan's rare message. You there? Ugh. This you there? Nonsense again. Look who's here. I replied, restraining myself from sarcasm out of gratitude for his help with sick leave. I need to tell you something. His unusual seriousness made me tense up. I read this quote, when you catch yourself smiling at your phone while texting a girl, you should delete her. So, my fingers flew across the screen, deleting and blocking him before he finished. Ha! Trying to dump me first? Not happening. I immediately messaged through the payment app. Think you're clever? I beat you to it. Evil grin after the blocking spree. Ethan never re-added me. With lab sessions over for the week, he'd left campus anyway. Regret nibbled at me, but pride stopped me from reaching out first. Whatever. There are always other apps if needed. Worst case, I'll visit home next week to reconnect. Saturday arrived. Dress hot tonight. Sophie appeared at my dorm, reminding me about the 6 p.m. mixer. Can I skip? Truth is, I'm all talk no action when it comes to actual dating. Nope. RSVP's locked in. Let's go. She tugged my arm with sugar-coated persistence. Resisting that smile? Impossible. I emerged, transformed smoky eyes. Voluminous beachy waves. Killer black slip dress. Total bombshell. Sophie gasped. You'll own that room. She practically dragged me to the venue. Holy abs! The place swarmed with guys sporting shoulders like barn doors and waists snatched enough to make Greek statues jealous. Several Adonises combined killer physiques with model faces. Visual feast achieved. Best part? The girl-guy ratio favored us. Sophie's 6'1" basketball player boyfriend materialized instantly to stake his claim, leaving me as the mixer's main attraction. Soon I held court surrounded by eager guys. Blissful moments later, a familiar grip closed on my neck. Emily. Ethan's voice froze me like a shoplifter caught mid-theft. Why yeah. The crowd evaporated. Sophie slipped away for date night. Guys scattering like roaches when lights flip on. Here's me. Ethan growled. Slaving over lesson plans for your credits while you're out playing Bachelorette? Mixers, bad? I blinked innocently. With me. Now. His iron grip hauled me toward the exit. Where? Somewhere civilized. Okay. The awkward silence lasted until his Ferrari came into view. There on the passenger seat meant for me sat a gorgeous rose bouquet. Petals glistening like crushed rubies. Get in the car, Ethan said flatly. I nodded obediently but remained standing. Why aren't you getting in? Ethan asked. The passenger seat has roses. This is a 2-seater. Where should I sit? Just hold the bouquet. Genius. Ethan gritted his teeth. Oh, right. I clutched the roses and settled into the leather seat. The silence became unbearable during the drive. Who are the flowers for? I finally blurted out. My professor. Got a problem with that? Haha. Your professor keeps up with trends? Roses. Really? He hates them. Then why? You believe everything I say? Ethan looked at me like I'd grown a second head. Well, are they for someone you like? My throat tightened. It couldn't be me, he'd been distant since I kissed him. Total player. I do like someone. Ethan kept his eyes on the road. Ears turning pink. Oh. My chest constricted. Who? That gorgeous girl from his first lecture? The freshman who asked for his number? Someone he met while I was sick. Damn it! Why can't childhood sweethearts ever beat someone new? Tears welled up as I stared at my trembling hands. She cracked my skull open when we were kids. Ethan suddenly continued. Sat crying snot bubbles by my hospital bed. I kept wondering, why was she crying when I was the injured one? My breath hitched. We went through elementary and middle school together. Stayed close even after I moved. I loved making her laugh and pissing her off. Loved that I could make her feel anything. His knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. Yesterday she blocked me everywhere. If I could redo that moment. Redo what? My pulse roared in my ears. When I'd smile like an idiot seeing her texts. I should have said I'm crazy about you. Ethan pulled over. Turning to face me. Be my girlfriend. If yes. Keep holding those roses. If not. Yes. I practically lunged at him. Ethan's stern expression melted. Little thief. We still need to discuss you stealing that kiss. My cheeks burned as he leaned closer. His cologne enveloping me. So what if I kissed my future boyfriend? It was my first kiss anyway. Was it now? His lips curved dangerously close to mine. Let's practice. But. His mouth silenced me in a searing kiss. Just as I forgot to breathe. He murmured against my lips. Breathe. Holy hell! Since when did he become such a smooth talker? Love doesn't wait, it crashes into you when you least expect it.